Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well, and I really do mean that. Today we're here to preview the head Chelsea home game between again against a Dinamo Zagreb. Again, yeah, it's become a must win game, but reaction is needed. It wasn't again, it was a mere formality, so to speak, but now a reaction is needed after that woeful performance uh, um, against Brighton away. So again, you can say now there's a chance that those most of the players would think we're going to start this game will not start. There's also a chance they start. We don't know. Maybe for me, again, if I were a Graham Potter, I'd say, okay, look, we messed up in the game against Brighton. So again, we'll still start those guys that haven't started games for a while. Give them a run, give them a chance to show what they can do, and you get a chance to show the club and the fans that you're capable of getting the job done against Arsenal. That way, the reaction for that loss against Brighton will be against Arsenal and not again in the home game in the Champions League home game against Zagreb. But that's by the way again. At this point, as usual, we usually look at those again in the chat to let again because we're family here is an interactive show. I think there's a confusion in the scheduling. I do everything myself, so every now and then I make some silly mistakes. This show was scheduled for tomorrow, actually, but it was supposed to be scheduled for today. Even the Twitter promo says it's today, but I had to again schedule it to today. But we're here, we get it done anyway. We're still doing another show tomorrow. But that's by the way again. Raphael Butko says again, hopefully well played with the second lineup. We have a derby with Arsenal for the weekend. Yeah, I understand what you mean. You mean like arrest the players and also just play the second lineup. But then again, at the same time, there's a chance the manager will decide, you know what, he has to play the first. I know what you mean by the first lineup. Probably most of the guys that started against, most of the players that started against Brighton away. That's a chance he thinks maybe I'm better off playing these guys again to help them get their confidence back because that's a confidence smashing loss really if we're being truthful to ourselves. But that's by the way again. Yeah, again, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. And Raphael, if you haven't, please do take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, the likes do go a long way. Again, the more the likes on the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more people will be able to reach. First of all, there are a few updates that I wanted to look at, and I think it's important that I do that. We look at those updates and we go on with the show. Let's see here. Not too many stuff actually. The first one here is again, it says Juventus are willing to sell Manuel Locatelli for a fee of just a 35 million and intend to replace him with Jorginho. Okay, now that if you look at that again, yeah, what comes to mind? Most Chelsea players don't want Jorginho, and it's looking like he probably has made up his mind to leave. Why do I say that? Again, it's common sense. It's business for the club and also business for the players as well. So if a player sees where he can make more money and still play football, he again take it in a heartbeat. And in this case, if the Jorginho gets to leave on a free, which will be the case because in January he'd be free to talk to all the clubs. He gets a sign-on fee, which I don't think Chelsea will be paying him that much money. Again, even if put together, will come close to what he'd get as a sign-on fee in bulk. Plus, he gets it immediately. So again, it just doesn't. It doesn't look like he's staying. As much as again, I know he's playing differently on the ground, Potter, and possibly there's a chance Potter wants him to stay. But the other argument would be, again, would Chelsea be willing to pay him how much he's looking for? Really, who in the case of a non-renewal can join, yeah, on a free transfer, and Juve would take that in a heartbeat and pay him again a bigger salary plus a sign-on fee, and can join on a free transfer again. But this one now is it Chelsea or Arsenal are cited as possible destination for Locatelli. I know we were linked to him with them before. I'm not sure the current owners or the manager. I'm not sure if they've looked at him and if Locatelli is a player they want. But he's a fine again player overall. We saw what he did in the Euros again. Oh, let's see what we have here again. It says again, starting guys like Zakaria, Ziyech, or Bettinelli. No, probably in goal will most likely be Mendy. It's not going to be Bettinelli. Mendy again, especially now, you can say, uh, um, we don't know how serious Kepa's injury is. So you could say the next in line to guard the stick for Chelsea, or you could say the second choice goalkeeper, if that's what the language you prefer to use, is Mendy. So when Kepa isn't playing, Mendy will most likely be the next choice again. And given that he hasn't played for a while in match games, you probably get the chance against Zagreb to gain again match fitness and again muscle memory and all that language. Yeah, but I get what you mean. It says a swap Jorginho for Locatelli. I don't think it would be a swap deal. If yeah, I don't think it would be a swap deal. Let me look at the length of Locatelli's contract. For us, why would they even agree to go into a swap deal when Jorginho can join them on a free? So it just doesn't make any business sense. Let me see. Probably Locatelli's probably still tied. Let's see. Yeah, okay, they're willing to sell him, but let me see here. Manuel Locatelli. Yeah, Manuel Locatelli contract. Let me see. Transfer market. That's where I'd see it. Let's see. Just give me 1 second. I'll look that up for you. Yeah, I don't think a swap deal will work. And usually swap deals are a very complicated process because one of the two parties involved in the process will feel like they're offering you something more valuable than you have to offer to them. So his contract expires June 2023. So probably he's oh, okay, a free agent too. Hmm. Oh, okay. So probably no, he gets to be a free agent if he doesn't renew with Juventus. So that's probably why you can say they're willing to sell him now. Not Juventus. He's on loan on Juventus. What club is his parent club? Actually, I've forgotten. Where is he now? Is he on? He's on loan to what club? First year again, the Juventus area. Let me see. I'm not sure how. Let me be sure I'm not mixing things up here. Just give me 1 second in a bit. Where is he right now? Okay, Locatelli. Okay, give me time. Who plays as a midfielder for Serie A club Giants again? If okay, okay, he's on loan at Sassuolo. Okay, now I get it. I hope I'm still not mixing things up there. Okay, yeah, but again, it's not going to be a straightforward deal if they decide now. If they decide they want to sell him, you can say if they decide they want to sell him now. But if it gets to January, I'm not sure the rules that if it was an English club, you say he'd be allowed to talk to foreign clubs, but not any other English club. I'm not sure if it is the same again in Italy. So I'm not going to go into it because it's a bit confusing right now. But I get to your suggestion. I don't think it'd be easy for it to be a swap deal. If it is, I think we'll get a fine player in Locatelli because I think yeah, he's a good player really. That's by the way again in that defensive midfield area, you can say we have a serious problem there. And do I think he's more physical than Jorginho? I think he is, but there are other aspects of his game that we have to look at to see maybe if he's the player we'll be looking at. But let's see what happens. Again, more importantly, the current manager has to be interested in the player, has to see him as a player that again that will work well with the way he likes to play. But there's no way to tell if that's the case indeed. Again, Koulibaly's comment, as much as I'd like to believe it, again, they say, again, if you believe it, if you believe in it, again, you'd be, you can, yeah, again, let me say, you're capable of achieving anything you believe, really. And here it says, Koulibaly, again, it says, we can win the Premier League this season. I want to make history, tells the source there. But again, just wish it were just about you. Again, we have a lot of issues again, but never say never. It's still possible. And he goes on to say again, I arrived with a coach who wanted me at all costs, and then he leaves. Both Tuchel and Potter play with three defenses. I was used to a back four, at Napoli again, but never stopped learning. I think you could say, you could say, yeah, again, him starting in the left center back position is just an approach to accommodate him. But I asked some question on why Fofana started centrally against Zagreb away when he was there, and his more experiences has played centrally before. And Fofana has played mostly on the right hand side. To me, on that day, that was Tuchel's mistake. But yeah, I get it. And again, my brother here again, Zivoli Matt says again, yeah, great mentality from Koulibaly, great mentality indeed, and that's why I say again, I just wish it were just about him. Yeah, but we have again other issues again in the squad. You could say the midfield, the attacking area. I wish it was that simple. Yeah, but it's good to see that mentality there. Good morning to you to Jampot Entertainment. And again, I know we don't have too many people watching, but if you're watching, there you have it. Please take a second to go to check out again the Z Boy YouTube channel and subscribe. Again, let's help him to get 1,000 as soon as possible. He should have more than 1,000 subscribers, but we know again things have slowed down a bit since the transfer window shut. Something again, some important update I want to look at here from data, my friend. Let me see what it's saying really. One second. And I'm going to look at it anyway. Just give me 1 second here. All right, let's see. Again, here we have Jump On Entertainment. It says, good morning, guys. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. That makes me happy. Again, a big up, everyone. I hope you guys are good. Also, make sure to hit the like button or smash the like button or destroy the like button if you can. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for kindly saying that. It's Locatelli better than J5. It's just more defensively minded. Again, you could say a bit more physical. But yeah, but the question is, yeah, this is just what this guys I think could be the case. Let me go back to that again. They think maybe again. I'm not sure. We were interested but that was on the Thomas Tuchel, and that was under the previous owners. But again, the question is, are the current owners interested? Well, again, is he a player that Graham Potter likes? I think, well, actually, you could say, again, it's just a speculation. There's no way telling if that's the case, if we would want him anyway. It says, again, coach 11 out of 23, again, our senior players needed to leave. I'm done with protecting these players. Yeah, no matter what happens, really, even if the manager and again the owners decide a wholesome changes needed, it will never be that drastic. It would be a serious setback. Even at that, they will not come out open and say, yeah, we need to change again about 11 out of 23 players. They wouldn't even say it again. It will be a gradual process. And I think we're getting there. The result, you can say, have been poor of late. But yeah, I don't know how it's to talk about what Potter talked about, as in the sense of the whole thing being a painful process. It will be a painful process indeed. But what I'm begging Graham Potter, if I'm allowed to, is just, again, follow the punch, not to be drastic with the change process. Take it gradual, and I think we'll be fine. But as long as we try to, to be, again, as long as we try to be drastic again with the process, issues will be, again, will most definitely emerge, and it will be really painful. Again, we may not be able to deal with it as fans. Blue morning to you too again, Josh Viola. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Mount needs to leave Chelsea first. I don't think that's really the case. I get where your argument is coming from. Do I think he's the best player at Chelsea? No. Do I think he's the worst? No. Again, but we're not going to. Here's the thing. I think it's easy to start pointing fingers when things don't go our way. But that's not why what I'm here to talk about, really. Let me see anything else to talk about here. It says, I would prefer us, again, get new Neves and Locatelli if J5 goes. J5, again, I think that's a chance he'd prefer going to Barcelona over Juventus. but we don't know really. Again, there's something else I want to also look at here. Just give me one second, and I'll come back to that in a bit. Let me see here. I'm going to share this here really just quickly. Quickly. It's not going to take too much time. It's about, again, Asan Zarayan, again, a player I like so much, and I hope we get him. And if you're in the chat, if you have any question, again, drop it in there, and I'll try my best to answer the question. But here's the thing: you must know I don't know everything. I'm only human. Let's see. Okay, here's the news here. This one here says Asan. Again, that was shared by my friend Data. Asan Zarayan has been in fine form this season and has been linked with a move to Chelsea FC. And again, what club is the other one? The abbreviation that's, again, I don't know what that means. Again, okay, has, again, Marcel's, that's somebody, again, I don't know, I don't follow that account, has analyzed why the 19-year-old would be a useful asset at breaking down a low defense block for any side. He's such a good passer of the ball. Again, if you've watched his highlights, again, you have to, again, say this is the guy we need, really. Why do I say that? Again, as well as we've played, as again, you can say even on the Thomas, so even in our best games, most of the chances have all come from the flanks. But this is the guy capable of, orchestrating defense, splitting passes from the center area. You can say he's a mashup of Cesc Fabregas and what's his name again, and Kevin De Bruyne of Manchester City. So again, he's a player I think we should get, and he's a player that wants to join us, who's openly saying he wants to come challenge Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. I think he mentioned one other player that I cannot remember, but seriously, that's one player I think we should be looking at. Look at how, again, this is vision. Although it's easy to say that this pass right here, again, let me see. I hope that doesn't go early. Okay, it goes to a page that I really don't want to go to right now, but let me see if I see the picture. I will really look at it here. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. Let's analyze it. It's easy that when you look at this pass right here, some people will argue, well, again, he sees, again, the space. No, but more importantly, he recognizes the run of this guy here, as his teammates here, who probably, again, he saw him when he was still, again, in the middle of this guys with a blue shirt before putting the pass. And it has to be, again, properly weighted pass for him not to get, for the pass not to go beyond the player that meant to run. That's what this guy is capable of doing. But usually, again, you can say from the days of Frank Lampard, the passes we've been able to, again, the chances we've been able to create, you can say majority of the times are from the flanks, like on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side. And like I said a few days ago, we need players who are capable of, creating chances from the central area. That way, again, the chances will create with the balance. If you try to stop us on the flanks, we'd still be able to create chances from the central area. So again, but that's why we will move on from that one. Again, if you have any questions, shoot it. Again, we're going to go into, I'm going to look at the, again, the last game we played against Zagreb, the one we lost 1-0 away to them, to see how well we did on that day. And then look at the head-to-head. You can see we played them one time, actually. And yeah, at this point, head-to-head, again, they're topping us. Let's see what else we have here. Smash the like button, people. Yes, keep liking the stream. How many likes do we have now? We have just 12 likes, and believe me, we can do better than that. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe again to the channel. If you haven't, he's better than Rice. You could argue. Even I'd take, for instance, I'd take Moises Caicedo over Rice and over Locatelli too. Moises Caicedo, for me, I think is more physical than Locatelli. You can say he's quicker, and also he's got some good pass in him, and he's got that never die mentality that you want from a player who plays in that central position. Even if you're not playing the player as a sitting DM, I think Caicedo would be a perfect player for us. He's played on the ground Potter too. Since we have to trust the process. We have no option than to support the manager we have, and I believe he's capable of doing better than what we've seen. Maybe he's just probably too in a rush to get to stamp his you can say to get the player to start playing the way he wants. But that's, by the way, I get your argument. I'd rather Moises Caicedo over those two, over Rice and Manuel Locatelli. But again, maybe the price tag may end up being the issue. Mark, again, Molitsi says again, will Zakaria start the game? There's a chance he does. Two things are possible here. If Graham Potter feels like, which I think he should do, but I'm not Graham Potter anyway. If he feels like, again, the best thing to do would be not to start all those games, nearly all the players, because there's no chance any of them wouldn't start. Not to start nearly all the players that started against Brighton away, and have them produce the reaction, much needed reaction against Arsenal in the Premier League. Then Zakaria may get the chance to start. But if Graham Potter looks at it and say, you know what, I think I'd be better off starting nearly the same 11 that started against Brighton, just to help them to build again, you can say reset their confidence and bring them up to a level that will make them perform with high confidence against Arsenal. Then Zakaria won't get a chance to start. So, but we're not sure what Graham Potter would do. Had it been Jose Mourinho, I would say he'd probably say, okay, yeah, you're not going to play this one. I need you to show the club, show the fans that you're capable of beating Arsenal. Don't start, because if they beat Zagreb, there's a chance we'll go, okay, that's a good reaction from the Chelsea players. No, Zagreb is a team on paper we should beat. And if we're being factual, we have a good enough team to beat Zagreb. So I wouldn't want him to start what you consider the starting 11 against Zagreb. If we beat them, then we'll be like, whoa, we're good to go against Arsenal. No. I want to say again, majority of those guys that didn't start, let them start against Arsenal. That's where I want to get the reaction from. That will make more sense. The Dawn again, Koulibaly says again, hi y'all, hi to you too. I hope you're doing well. By the way, my man, your avatar is one of my favorite musicians. Again, Tupac Shakur. Again, Kim So says hello everyone. Hello to you too, Kim So. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. And if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream. Omari and Zakaria will play. Here's another thing about Denis Zakaria getting a chance to play. As much as I know what he's capable of doing, you must always look at it and go and tell yourself, if you're being factual to yourself, there's a reason why Juventus decided, again, they have to let him go in the first place, even willing to sell him if we want to buy him at a given price. You could argue that. You could also, again, we don't know what's going on. You could argue it's down to managers' preferred approach. But do I think he would do a job for us if given a chance? I think so, because I know him well enough that I even did a video with Nisha, why Chelsea should sign him, when I did the scouting for Chelsea a series. So yeah, again, but for Omari Hutchinson, there's a chance he gets to play, maybe not start, really, because there are other senior players who's been part of the team who probably the manager will be looking to give a chance to see if they do well and good enough, again, to be an active, if you allow me to feel an active part of the squad, because the games are coming in thick and fast. How many games again before the World Cup? I think not too many, really. Again, our players are made of Legos. You can't argue. Again, it's a solid argument given, yes, the manager got the selection wrong, in my opinion. But yeah, we didn't see, you could say, any measure of acceptable fighting spirit from the squad on the day. They were really poor. Zakaria will start again because Potter is blind. What if he starts again and end up having a stinker? Would you say Potter is blind? So we can only, again, hope that he gets a chance to show what he's capable of doing. Not really because Potter is blind. Not really, again, we don't know his condition at this point. We must be factual in that case. Again, if you're singing, again, I want to see who was involved in the training. I think Koulibaly trained yesterday. If you're watching, again, let me see. I think I should go to the site, so I'll look at it and say who was involved in training today. I would prefer we get trusted over Caicedo. Why is that? Again, we have a serious issue in the midfield area, and if you really can, I think we want them both. But again, the truth remains, Brighton. Excuse me. The truth remains, Brighton isn't a shopping plaza for players, and if we try to get again to more than one again to go to get any of their players again, there's a way we you can say we're approaching and then doing the relationship you could argue we already have with them, because we need more creativity in the side, more than again a midfielder right now, and a CB. We've actually been creating chances. If anything, we've not been clinical in front of goal. Creating chances, if we're being factual here. I think the midfield, but again, here's the thing, if we're being truthful, the whole issue that we've had stems again in the past. The issue we saw against was it Aston Villa? The issue we saw against Brentford. The issue we saw against Salzburg away, even though we won that game. And again, again against Manchester United, even though it ended in a draw, clearly points to the fact with midfield. We have a midfield that's not capable of protecting the defense properly, especially when we play with a three at the back structure. I think the midfield is actually the priority right now. We need to get it correct there, or otherwise, even if we have the backers in the wall, we still have issues because we cannot outscore oppositions all the time. A lot of changes should be done today. Again, because we have again a big test coming our way. So I have my eyes on what it does. I will see again what day. Our game is actually again. Am I confused even further? Again, let me see. Our game is actually tomorrow, really. Let me be sure again. Yeah, I'm not making a mistake again. It's our game will be okay. Yeah, tomorrow. So not today, really. Again, again as we again are trying to get Bellingham. How do you how did you come to that conclusion? We don't know what the club we're looking at right now. If we're being honest, in a beat. Okay, just 1 second. Let me know if you have any again a question. Throw it in the chat, and I'll try the best I can to address it. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the last game against Zagreb. The 11 we started was Cesar Azpilicueta in the right centre back position. Again, we had again a Fofana who started centrally. Even though he got 8.5, here's the thing: he didn't again. His job as say, yeah, that's you can say he got that more that high rating from again him in again a lot of the ball because we played from the back quite a lot and we kept the ball, had a lot of possession. To me, started him centrally. I would have again started Koulibaly centrally and start at least bench start Korea on the left, or even Cesar Azpilicueta on the left, and start Fofana in on the right hand side. But Tuchel chose again on the day. Tuchel chose with this to go with this particular again structure and the personnel he had at the back. That's the way again. At least we had two traditional wing backs. But I know why that came to my mind, but I really do not want to talk about it. Let's look at the numbers here again on the day. You can say they'll be coming at the breach. Again, XG expected goal was 0.91, but again, it wasn't the best, but at least good. They had 0.62. Again, they had total shots, 6 shots. We had 15 shots. You can say that game was one of the days you can say we were so poor in front of goal that had the game been played even 2 more hours, we still wouldn't get a win out of it. But before I continue, guys, again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. Again, apologies for the mix-up in schedule. Again, I scheduled this show to take place tomorrow, whereas I meant to do it for today. And again, even though if you look at the post on Twitter, it says again it was again today. But really, again, apologies for the mix-up. But that's by the way we go on. A show goes on as the old saying goes. So again, one big chance that's from them. So even though we had a total of 15 chances, we had 0 big chances. Again, accurate passes 23, 2 again for 35% for us, 87%. Fouls committed 15 apiece. corners, 4, we had more corners. Offside, 7, which shows again we were on them. But the one chance they get on a break, they took it. But again, we missed quite a lot of chances on the day. Yeah, again, so head to head, I think we've met just once, maybe in the Champions League again. Let me see that head to head. Just 1 second. Where am I going to see that guy? I think I'll get to it down further. Okay, not anyway. Again, I think it's one time probably. Again, I've looked at it before. And given, again, the team form for us, yeah, again, where's the one? Do we have everything here? I don't really think we have everything here. Again, this was closer to that period. So if anything, I have to go get closer to the current date to get the correct team form. We'll go here. That's by the way. What do we have here? Okay, let's see what we have here, really. They are fourth on the table again. Don't have any chance. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, if they win, they come 7 points. Then they get again a Europa League if they beat us, which means they take this game seriously. To them, it's not like it's over for them. They still get a chance to play in the Europa League again. Or yeah, that's the Europa League. If they beat us here on the day, a draw, we take them to 5 points. So they really do need a win. And for us, we already know again, no matter what happens again, we're again head to head. We still top the table. So let me see insights again. Unbeaten in 10 home games. That's a good record. Haven't kept a clean sheet in 9 matches, which you can say on paper we're more likely again to score and win the game. Plus again, it's a home game for us. So these two factors are combined together. Again, you can say, logically says, you can say, or statistically, you can say, says again, we're most likely to win this one. But I wouldn't hold my breath. It's Chelsea Football Club, and again, maybe as you can see, you can say the new manager bounce is still well and truly again in existence. So we have what we have again. They have how many players? We have how many players out? Wesley Fofana out, Reece James out, and N'Golo Kante out. Koulibaly should be, again, he trained yesterday. I think he should be ready. He should probably start this one. Again, it doesn't have to be surprised because no matter how you see it, Thiago Silva, he looked exhausted in the game against was again a Brighton. He looked mentally and physically tired, but again, even on his watch there, such he still was able to make 2 clearances off the line. But we'll move on. John Paul says he says, Coach, I agree with you that it is an area that needs fixing, but our defenders are dropping like flies. So again, if I hear me, it's crucial we get again a versatile CB for rotation with Koulibaly and Silva. We have that already, but he's out. You can say Chalobah also has shown he's capable of again leading the back line, and he's capable. I think you can say doing that better than Fofana. I know we paid quite a lot of money for Fofana, but a lot of people probably because of that not looking beyond him and go, yeah, he's better than Chalobah. Defensively, I think Chalobah is better than him. Ball carrying, that's an area again I'm still looking at to still come to the conclusion who's better than the other person. But really, again, Chalobah is essentially better than I think Fofana can. But that's, by the way, again, for them, they have, I'm not sure who's the starter for them, whether these guys, they have Marco Bulat, again, Mahio Emreli, again, Ivan Nevestic, Daniel okay, forget the last name, and Bosco. These guys, I don't know them too well to say maybe they're missing key players or not, but to me, it's a must-win game. And let's see again. I want to look at again the probable lineup put up here by FOTMob, and FOTMob is an app that I use again. That helps me it makes the streaming process very easy. So again, if you have mobile devices, you use Huawei, again, Android products or Apple products, you can download the FOTMob app. Again, very intuitive. Again, you get real-time notifications on whatever that's happening during the game. So I think you will like it, really. Let's look at current form, team form. For them, they've lost again. Their two last games they've lost them. They lost 4-0 to Milan, and they lost 1-0 to again. Osijek. I'm not sure Osijek. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. And for us, it's been one loss again in 9 matches. I think. Yeah. So and we've been again, like I said, the insight here shows again logically that we're supposed to paper at least we're supposed to beat them. But yeah, you can say that, like I said before, the charity FC factor is well and truly again in effect. So yeah, if let's say I want to get your thoughts again. What do you think Graham Potter will do? Do you Graham Potter will say again will decide to play nearly the 11 they played against Brentford to help them? You can say fix their confidence. I think fix their confidence. Again, for me, I think would be better off playing that 11 against Arsenal. Don't even again. I know there isn't that possibility to start the whole 11 again. No new 11 against Zagreb. They will still have again the need to bring in some of those players that play. But I want to get your thoughts. Do you think would be better off, again, playing a different 11 against Zagreb, and then the manager now says to the players, yeah, again, against Arsenal is where I need you to show the reaction that, yeah, you have to play for this club. Because if they play against Zagreb and beat them like 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, then you can hear people going, wow, what a reaction was, and especially if you play very well. I want to get your thoughts. Let me know what you think the manager should do. Again, I've read that one here. It says, again, remember Aspi, Silva, and Koulibaly, all in their 30s. Balance is key. But I get what you're talking about. When Thomas Tuchel, when we were again being linked to quite a lot of defenders during the summer, when I was asking, what are we trying to do here? I will build in Fort Knox. And some people were questioning, again, why aren't we looking all the places and all that? It turns out the manager knew what he wanted then. Again, had we signed a few of the players we looked at, you could say we wouldn't have this much problem, really. It's as simple as that. Again, if you're watching, if you take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much again for 16 likes, but we can actually do better than that. So thank you guys for finding the time to join in the show. Let's see what else we have here. Again, from 1 second here from okay, just realized Kepa and Kova did not train today. Okay, yeah, I even want again, but again, we need a leadership in the central area. That's probably again should start. He didn't play against Brighton. I want all those players, but not really Kepa. I hope his injury isn't massive. But Kovacic has played again, sit it out on this one. Most of them sit it out, and then I show how good they are against Arsenal. I don't, again, like I said, I'm going to probably say this a billion times by the time the show ends. I don't want a situation where most of them will start, we mop the floor with the Zagreb, and then, yeah, we say, again, we're all good to go against Arsenal. Zakaria and Omari Hutchinson play. At least that's what you think. If they do, I won't be surprised. I hope Zakaria gets a chance to show he's capable of being part of the squad. Zakaria and Omari will play again. That's Tricotent. Thank you so much for joining the show. And if you haven't, please drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think Potter will rotate. We need a best 11 against Arsenal. Yeah, but some people will go with the logic such as, okay, you know what? These guys, their confidence, again, you say, they were battered again against the confidence of the team was battered in a way. So probably give them a chance, let him start, and probably mop the floor with Zagreb, and again be in the better in a better mindset in terms of again you can say confidence going into the Arsenal game, but that wouldn't make sense. Let's see what we have here. Yes, like and subscribe to the channel. Again, the likes do go along. We will have just 18 likes, and I think we should be doing better than this. Drop a like on the channel if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel. Those things do go along. Well, let me see what we have here. Again, if Dennis doesn't play, Potter will need to explain himself in the post-match press conference because, again, our 11 players, again, need rest. Mount Kova, Habat, Stalin, they're well rested, actually, about nearly, it is now 4 days or so. I think for another reason, I'd have them, most of them not this one really. So let's go into again building and the lineup exercise. And except if you have anything else you want to talk about, I'm thinking again. For me, I think the most you can say again logical structure to play would be with a forward formation. I don't care what he does in the midfield area or in the attacking area. For the back formation would give us the opportunity again not to get how do I phrase it now? Not to start with too many, not to take too many risks. Because if we play with the third at the back, then there's a chance Kukurea start, and then also you still have Benchwell on the pitch again in a period where we really do need again to rest the players. So I don't think again a good idea to play the third at the back structure. We need to play with a four at the back structure, which makes it easier actually. That again, if we have again a tricky customer coming at us from again the left hand side of the opposition area or the right hand side of the opposition area, we'd have to up again the possibility of doubling up on any player. That, for instance, if this guy is the opposition and he comes down this again on the flanks here in this line, then these two guys here should be able to up on him, which was what Chelsea did at home against AC Milan, and he worked very well. Although Leao was still able to show what he's capable of doing, but again, he didn't really. Again, he wasn't as again you could say as effective as he was during the previous game before that game. So that's why a four at the back system approach for me will be again a more effective approach. If you're in the chat, I want to know when is the press conference coming up, because I want to say, okay, we can go ahead with the lineup building and make necessary changes if need be. I'm not sure what time is a press conference. I really do want to know. Let's see what we have here. If Dennis can play today, can I've read that one. And here we have again a blue morning to you guys. Blue morning to my Monday, to my Niger brother, Michael Obinka. Nice to see you, bro. Again, and more importantly, I have to ask this. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join. Again, good day to you too, bro. Again, yeah, excited to see you. But I hope things are okay with you because I haven't seen you in a while. Please, guys, again, keep liking the stream. We have just 18 likes. We're doing better than that. Please, again, 15. That's minus 12. Again, that's 12 p.m., which would be what time? Yeah, 12 p.m. I have to convert it again. That would be what time in Las Vegas? 5 a.m. What? So it should have already started. Right, wrong. But that's by the way, it should have started already. So we get an update. If you're watching, please to let me know. Maybe I have to open my update screen to be sure what I'm looking at. Again, this is the one here that will show me again. I'll be getting. Oh, it opens in the wrong window. I really do not want again. I want it to open here. Let's see. Just 1 second again. If you're watching, I want. Just give me 1 second here. Let's see what we have. Where's that window? I don't know. Okay, this is the guy here. Okay, let's start. Where do we start? Let's start again from the front. Let's start from the number 9 position. To me, there's no excuse. Again, there's no sort of excuse that you can. Graham Potter will present that with me. Say, oh, okay, I understand why. Amanda Broya would join Graham Potter. Okay. Some news here again. I was seeing that Amanda Broya would join Graham Potter again for the press conference today. To me, usually again, my logic is this: whatever player that does the press conference with the manager usually gets to start the game. It's usually difficult for a player to participate in the press conference and end up not starting. So again, it's Amanda Broya. The report from Manchester: Amanda Broya would join Graham Potter for the UEFA Champions League again pre-match press conference this afternoon. The logic is in. I'm going to say this: no matter conversation, no. I training just like and Koulibaly Zabalaga. I training just like just Viola had. She had already reported to us. Again, playing 3 at the back is our problem right now. I think we should change our formation to 4-3-3 or 4 whatever. Just 4 at the back, for whatever, or from 4-2-3-1, because right now we have some injuries. Even again, you can say during the game against again Brighton, we could have actually gone with the 4 at the back system, that being a safer, which means Thiago Silva gets to do less work than he did on that day. But for some reason, again, our manager thought it worked. But again, it was again a societal selection overall, I have to say. But I get your point, yours there. Let's see what we have here again. A Sunday is a must-win game for us if we want again to have a good chance for the title after the World Cup. I think we should be seeing a completely different Chelsea. That is the truth again. But we shouldn't go into the World Cup again not being in the top 4. It will be very, very difficult to get back into it because Newcastle, they're there already. They have the money, and believe me, again, you could argue they're still probably looking to sign a new player, and it's looking like they're going to come for Christian Pulisic again. And Christian Pulisic don't get again a run of starts. He probably up to sign for them. But again, it's a risky situation. So I'm with you. We need to win these games. We don't need again. That is no question. Every other game, again, every game that we have before the World Cup starts, we need to win them all. Just give me a second. I need to look at the Premier League table really before we go into again the Champions League. Before we go into looking at the Champions League thing, just give me one second here. Let me see what my brother just sent me something on Twitter. Let me see what he says. Again, it says 1 second. Okay. That gets a difficult one to talk about right now. Let me see. I'm going to look at the Premier League table so we know before we go back to the lineup, the exercise. Please just give me 1 second. Right there we go. We have it here. Does it? Yeah. Just give me 1 second. So we have to look at it again. Again, all the games, the remaining games before the World Cup are all again must-win games. No stories at all. No matter how. Let's look at just quickly. We will go back to picking again the predicted predicted lineup exercise for the home game for against Zagreb. Look at it. Arsenal here, 31 points, 29 points. Manchester City, 26 points. Tottenham, 4 points again. 24 points for what team again? Newcastle United. Again, Manchester United, 23 points. So we're actually out of the top 6 right now. Out of the top 4, we'll be in the 6th position. Let's see the full table here. Yep. See, look at where we're at. We're at again, how many points here? 21 points. So we have a game in hand, which means we could go 24 points. But Manchester United also have a game in hand, go 26 points. But Arsenal also have a game in hand, which means they could go again a game in hand as to compared to Tottenham and Newcastle have. They could go 34 points. So they're really looking good. Again, an argument is that they don't have depth. Okay, you must look at the kid that came in when Bukayo Saka got injured, how well he did. So yeah, if they don't have squad depth, they have again the team spirit, and with team spirit, you can move mountain really. So look at where we're at again in our games. Really, again, the games we have coming up are very, very top games. So we have them all to have a chance of again even remaining at the top 4 by the time the transfer window starts. Why do I say that? Manchester United are still looking to sign players. Newcastle are still looking to sign players. You could say again it'd be difficult for Arsenal to be in the top 4 before the World Cup starts. So yeah, again, no matter what happens, we have to again win all the remaining games. I don't care what anybody says. It is really very important that we do that again. But that's by the way, really. Yeah, I agree with you, Michael Obinka. Those are games that we must really win if we're to do well again. Because after the World Cup, these teams were still again you could say fortify their squad with more again good signings, and it would be difficult for us to attract good players because we have if players the big players actually or you can say big name players usually pay attention to whether a club is in the Champions League or if we're going to make it again in the Champions League, or if we're going to win the Champions League. So I think we're in a very difficult situation. The only option to solving our problem would be just to win the remaining games. So I will come back to what we have here. So we'll continue building the lineup. Play Broya and Oba against Arsenal. The two of them together makes sense due to his pace. Power. Oba don't have that pace anymore, but there's a chance the manager will value his more in the fact that he's played for Arsenal and the fact, again, the common belief he'd like to show Arsenal simply the same manager who again, with whom he had issues with at the club, because a lot of players is not going to. Let's see what we have here. Again, seeing a completely different Chelsea is a dream. Same old. Yeah. Again, it's a process that will take time. You can say the process have actually started already. Given again, a lot of young players will sign. For instance, it's looking more likely that again, what's his name? Ziyech will leave Chelsea. It's again, I can sense this. There's a chance also Christian Pulisic asks to leave the club, even though he means more than just a footballer for the club. I think he's a good footballer, but it all remains again. His decision to leave will come down how Graham Potter treats him. But let's see. There's still time. Again, Pulisic can go right now. It's not that easy. Again, we shouldn't have to wait until January because he's been a very poor in terms of consistency. Honestly, I'd say this. Even against Brighton, you can say he was one of the best on the day, given his ability to run with the ball. And in previous game, you could argue the same too. Again, but I'm not here to point fingers. We're here to pick the 11 that will play against Zagreb. Goodness, again, and watch who says again, a big up. This player should never play at LCB. He should preferably play at either again right wing or left right back. Very important. Here's the thing. Do I think he's been poor? I don't think so. I think that well at Chelsea, really. Has it been perfect? No. But you could argue if we're really paying attention to what has been going on with the club and how badly we've been played, the issues we've witnessed, again, they're all stemmed again, because the lack of proper protection from the midfield, especially when you're playing with a three at the back structure, you have so much from them, which was why you can say our best players against Zagreb away were the defenders. They did a lot of running, they played a lot of the ball. And again, to me, but you can say maybe we're not paying attention properly to understand. Cucurella, actually, he's played in that position. Against Wolves, he did quite well. There are other games that he did quite well too. But again, scapegoating is a Chelsea fans team. So I'd be surprised if they're not scapegoating him. And I don't think we overpaid for him, really. I think got the guy, and he's done quite well. But again, it's easy to start pointing fingers. Whereas, again, looking beyond the issue, really, I don't think whatever we've seen, how badly we've seen him play in certain games were down to him being a bad player. No, the issue has always been from the midfield area. It's the same thing as Koulibaly. The moment he got 2 yellow cards in the game and got sent off, we started hearing some argument from some quarters of the fan base saying he hasn't adapted to the Premier League quite well. Really? No. The issue then was really lack of proper communication in the defensive line where we changed. Again, we had Koulibaly, and then we had, in most cases, I think it was Koulibaly, Fofana on the pitch at the same time, or Cucurella and Koulibaly on the pitch at the same time. The defensive line is where, again, the slightest of change you make, it can be an issue because that's the hardest part of a team to assemble. So again, you can say lack of proper communication was an issue, not because he hasn't adapted to the Premier League, really, but that was how many, again, that was how they did. And again, I agree, we'll see things from different lenses, but that's, by the way, I'm not here to really talk about that. Let's see what we have here. It says our players can rest during the World Cup. Yeah, good one there. Let me see, have again comments in the chat already. Goodness, I agree with your point. Okay, you're having a conversation there. Thank God Koulibaly is back to the squad. Just wish we had him against Brighton. Cucurella was cooked, and it wasn't down to his fault. It was down to, again, lack of, again, proper protection. He was exposed. We didn't have a traditional wing back there. again, he was exposed as much as Chalobah was exposed, really. Yeah, so it was, you could say the whole team started from the foundation, which was, again, the selection was suicidal in the first place. Kachila, again, hello, my friends. Hello, Dan. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm expecting a hatch from Bayern Munich against Arsenal. Okay, I hope he does that. I'd take it anytime, any day. Again, people, if you're watching, haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chilwell on the left and Cucurella on the right. No, we shouldn't play them both in the same game. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. We'll end up exhausting them at the period where we have games coming in thick and fast. You need to set again which ones, or as we Cucurella can play right back, in my opinion, and Chile left wing back. Yeah, but again, here's my argument again. The games are coming in thick and fast. And you don't want to put all your eggs in the same basket. It's a huge risk, really. We don't want to do that. Pulisic can go. The guy cannot shoot. I think if we start talking about who should go, we shouldn't start from Pulisic. And I'm not saying this because I'm an American, but that's an argument for another day, really. Sell them all. Yeah, it sounds easy. Koulibaly is talking about winning the Premier League, at least being positive. That's how I see it. Do I think it's possible? Mathematically, it's still possible, but it's going to be really difficult. Yeah, but he's been positive. Yeah, that's that. That shows you the spirit he has. Amanda Breyer, which I'm going to put that. Yep, I've read that, which means he's more likely to start the game. Coach, okay, go ahead with that. I thought Arsenal should be 4-2-3-1. That's what I think. To Chilwell, Koulibaly, Silva, Aspilicueta, Jorginho. I'll get to that. Again, let's take it one by one, so don't give it away. Again, people, if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to smash the like button. And if you haven't, thank you so much, guys. So now, for me, I think it's going to be Broy here for the game against Zagreb. And I'm going to ask the chat to get your opinion. Again, has he started? No, he hasn't started in the Champions League game for us. And I think this is just for him to start. And I have my reason. And I'll go, let me ask those in the chat there. And it's again number 9. Okay. I'll say Aubameyang. But I don't think Aubameyang should start this game. And Armando Broya. There you go. You have your. I'm gonna get your thought on who you think should start in that particular position. For me, I think Broya, he hasn't started the game for us. And this is an opportunity again for him to start he has started a Champions League for us. Let me see anything else here, and I'm seeing again. Say quickly again. I trust Graham Potter more than I trust Tuchel. Again, react tactically in the middle of a game. But again, if it was Tuchel, he stick with his plan before the game, even if he's going. I really do not want to get into that argument, but I get your point there. Front three, again, we get all the names at the same time. We'll take it one by one. Again, Mario Minto, brother, I hope you've recovered fully. Nice to see you. Again, first of all, it's a good sign. I hope you're doing well. I cannot wait to see Gwen Zakaria start. Again, I don't know. Again, I really want to ask, there's a lot of us who's been calling for Zakaria to start. How well do we really know him if we're being factual here, really? if we're being factual here, okay, which means, okay. Let's see what we have here again. What's up? Saying hello to Liam. See what else we have here in the chat. Hello, Blue Fan, Jafta Sikwa. Again, hope y'all all are doing well. Yeah, I agree with Broya starts this one. The top 9. Yeah, I think Broya will start in that position. So now we have, again, the 3 behind the striker. To me, I think Carney Chukwuemeka starts here. Did he train? I'm not sure. Again, if we get to find out, again, if once the press conference starts and it happens that he's out injured, then we can say he maybe wouldn't. But I think he's capable of starting in this position or on the flanks. I'm not sure. But let's start by saying maybe he starts here. Because this is a chance to give him a start. And I'd argue, again, since we didn't hear from the manager whether Carney was sick, the reason he wasn't even on the bench against Brighton, or probably because he gets to start this one. You could say that's what I think. That may well be the reason why we didn't start them against did not start them against Brighton. But here again, we have a few players who I think yeah, I see that. Let me see something in the chat that's very important. But I think I should be more before. Okay, let me see. Again, coach, we don't have a better option right now because United, until Reece or Fofana is back from injury. I remember Aspi was originally again a left back converted. Oh no, Aspi was originally a right back, and I think you had it opposite. Mourinho played him predominantly on the left hand side, and I think who else continued with that trend? I think it was Conte continued. Correct me if I'm wrong. Aspi traditionally was a right back that was converted to a left back player. Here we have a Chukwuemeka trained alone, so that's a good sign. So he probably most likely will not start. Again, that's how I feel. Chukwuemeka is playing as good, but yeah, will he start? No. Since he trained alone, that's a sign against something that must have been wrong, which was why on the bench against Brighton. Again, if you're watching, people, thank you so much. Thank you so much for how many likes right now. Thank you so much for 22 likes. You can do better than that. Let's try and get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. I'd really appreciate that. It says again, Chukwuemeka playing as a number 10 is good, but it doesn't look like it's ready. Omar Dunk, I like that name. Should be a matter of knowing him. We bought him. No, we didn't buy him. Now let's see him. Here's the thing about players on loan. The truth remains, for instance, let me use an example here. What's his name? This a fine player plays the Jorginho role, and we get a mashup of Bill Gilmore, for instance. He's on loan at what club? Brighton. How many games has he started? You can say he hasn't played enough minutes to say again. I don't think he's played up to 90 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's just he hasn't played too much. Why is that? Because they have their own players. They know he's on loan and wouldn't waste their resources developing him, except in the worst case scenario where they don't have any other option. They just call him Billy Gilmore to start. Loans has always been like that, and in most cases, clubs do go for to get players on loan because they don't have enough resources. One player gets injured, they're not going to have a replacement, or in some cases where you can say they just get a player, again, thinking, okay, the player starts playing for them, but if their own player gets ready, they start playing their own player because they know the loan player. You can say, again, did we sell Bill Gilmore or was it a loan? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we sold Gilmore, so not a loan. So that's the worst excuse to use. Let's say, again, in the case when he was on loan at Norwich City, to be correct, yeah. When he was on loan at Norwich City, they weren't obliged to start him week in, week out because they have their own play to develop. So again, we're not obliged to start again Zakaria week in, week out to play. If things get worse for us, really, that's usually he has to be exceptionally good before he joined us, or exceptionally good on the training ground that the manager considers, you know what, I gotta give this guy a chance, and maybe at the end of his loan, we take him on a permanent deal. So again, a perfect example was Billy Gilmore's on again loan stay at Norwich City, not Brighton. Sorry for mixing that up. Again, it's not they don't have to start him. So that's loan. We don't have to start Zakaria, and the fact we signed him doesn't mean he's the best player in the world. Yes, some of us are well acquainted with what he's done in the past. But yeah, that's in the past. What can he do now, and why did Juventus let him leave this place? Let us see what we've got. Again, Chukwuemeka, again, this is not, it's not like, this is it's not like, you could say a game in the living room where you could just try anything you want and whatever happens, you take it. I don't think that's the case. So we don't want to risk it. Chukwuemeka should start this game because I think he will work very well with Broya. Again, I hope that they both get a hat-trick. He's capable of doing more than most of the players we have now from the little we've seen. But the question is he fit? Since we heard since we have you can say we heard that he trained separately from the main team. I think Chukwuemeka will play from the bench if available. I say Kai, again, had he been fit, really, I think he'd start. I'd say Kai still starts. Yeah, again, some of those players that played against Brighton, maybe not too many of them will get. So unfortunately, it will not be Chukwuemeka there. Play Gallagher as 10, possibly Gallagher now, given what we're hearing. And I'm playing with Chukwuemeka as serious dub, recording, according to reports. Yeah. So probably he was ill or something. Yeah, keep dropping the like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Again, Gallagher there and Kai on the right. Kai, if anything, if he's on the pitch, will probably play centrally as either as a 9 or as a 10. Please remember again to like and share the stream. Help again, and let's get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. We're just halfway with that number, and we can get it done. Cowell again. Cowell may be a perfect example on loan to Brighton, and we cannot loan 2 players in the same team. Yeah. Thank you. I mixed things up there. Cowell, that's a perfect example. How many games has he played for them? You can say 0. How many? Not too many. And that's because they're not obliged to develop him, really. Again, I'm not sure. Can you let me know how many games he's played for them? He's a cup games for them. So, again, my point, again, I understand we can't loan 2 players to a team, so I got things mixed up. Yeah, but here we have, let's see what we have here. Again, yes, but this game, we should give him that. So here you can say most likely, as much as I think, for me, the better player to play in this position, again, for me, is Christian Pulisic. But do I think it still get a chance to start there? I'd say no, really. So it may well be Conor Gallagher. But I'll ask the chat here. Let me quickly ask the chat. Yes, Breuer starts in the number 9 position. That's just the truth. Let me do this. Let's say as number 10. Number 10 position. Let me get your thoughts here. Again, we have, I'm going to say Gallagher there. Gallagher, one of the options. Pulisic, one of the options. Pulisic, one of the options. And then another option there will be Kai Havertz. So let's see what you think. There you go. You have it there. I want to get your thoughts on what you think, who you think starts there. Okay, let's see what we have. Again, is Cowell even playing there? Yeah, that's again. That was I got things mixed up. Again, Gilmore is there, but we sold Gilmore to them, and you can have 2. You can loan 2 players to a single again club. And thank you for reminding me there that Tobago, so to speak. So, but my point is, usually loan players are not clubs don't prioritize using loan players. You have to be exceptional before you begin, or better than what the club has before a chance to play. And there's no way to argue and be correct that Zachary is better than what we have. It's as simple as that. Again, what the approach the manager likes to apply. And again, unfortunately, I think I am Fox is saying we should actually recall what's his name, Cowell, really. Yeah, I'm seeing something in the chat there that's very painful. Again, is it possible for Chelsea to recall Cowell? That's what I'm not sure about, really. I'm not sure, but I've heard Ergs from the Green Top to talk about, again, if the club should recall him. If it's possible, I think we should. Out of the team, we won't be complaining that much, really, because he plays in the left centre-back position. Seafield cannot play. He is the best, again, in sub right now. Yeah, I get what that argument from. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, do take a second to smash the like button. Again, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all the support. We have likes now, but we should be doing better than that. Again, that's C-Fella. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't, be sure again to drop on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Yeah, a total of 28 minutes, which means they don't value him, really. It's simple as that. Again, it just seems as him being there was just, again, yikes indeed. Again, it's just that's problematic to his development as a young player, really. Again, a Cucurella can play there only if we have midfielders that can help RCBs to help them out. If that is a delicious comment right there, and thank you so much for saying that. But please let me know if you can hear me quite well. I have my mic on, again, further away from my mouth so that, again, the sound isn't too bad, again, when I raise my voice. And here we have, again, it says again, it is there defenders in the academy that can Is there again any defenders in the academy can play good enough again in the right back position? Why are we selling our young players and buying from other clubs when we have the best academy in the world? This is a question again I've talked about over and over again. In most cases, excuse me, some of those players, they want to leave. And when that is the case, you can't do otherwise. And in most cases, again, if that happens in most cases, you risk losing free, because that argument, before they start looking to leave, usually they have just a year left on their contract. So they're in a better position in terms of negotiating with the club. And you can say these are players also looking out for their future. They know quite well, and there's no chance that every academy player makes it into the first team. Yes, there's a path there, but you have to be exceptional to make it into the first team. And actually, again, you have to be ready, because it's going to get even worse now that you're not allowed to loan out again more than a single player to a club, and plus there's a limit to how many players you can loan out. So it's going to be happening even more now that again there are restrictions. Yeah, but again, before it was more like a business model. Yeah, it's good for the development of the players, but also the club again made a lot of money from it. I can hear you, Coach. Okay, again, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very well. Again, he would have been again a lot better staying in with Silva and Koulibaly, but he wanted to stay, really, didn't he? The argument we had then, he wanted to stay, but again, what was it again? I'm not sure whether it was Thomas Tuchel's idea again, or whether in the process of buying Cucurella and we had to let them go. I'm not sure what the story is really, but again, I don't want to get into that. And again, Dion Rankai, how do you pronounce it? Okay, let me just say Dion can play as a right back, as a right wing back. But again, it's not up to me. Again, is it that bad really? If we played the thing, but his selection against Brighton, we could have still played. We could have still played that game with a three at the back shot and still have traditional wing backs. Or let me say, just put it this way: players capable of fulfilling the wing back roles pitch. Cesar Azpilicueta could have played the wing back role on the right wing back position. You can say again, we had Ben Chilwell on the bench, who played traditionally is a left wing back player. So I don't think it's become that worse, actually. I think it was the manager. For me, as much as I still love Graham Potter, and I know he'd do a good job, and I know the process takes long, I think he was, the selection was just where the issue started. Before, again, saying how Badlands did and all that, everything started with the selection. So, yeah, let's see what we have here. Liam Lane says, okay, just what do we have here again? Give another one again a chance. Then again, keep him on the bench. I'm looking more about again is trying the club giving Omari Hutchinson a chance, because he brings us something different. He brings something different on again in terms of the way he plays, his ability. He is capable of pulling the rabbit out of the hat to let us again help us win games. He's makes a difference. He's that player that's unpredictable. He's that player. He's not like you can say Anthony of Manchester United or Rafinha of Barcelona, who that signature move of cutting back in and shooting with the left. He can do more. He can take on players 4 or 5 against still space for himself or for his teammate, and that's what we were missing in the team right now. Chukwuemeka trained alone. Kepan, Kante, James, and Fofana, long-term absentees. Yeah, again, I'm aware. Thank you so much for that update. What about, again, Lewis Hall? He's still, again, a Chelsea player. That's a good shout there. And Lewis Hall also is a player who I loved, again, when he made his debut for the club in a cup game of Chelsea. The spirit when he got an assist. But before that assist, he made a mistake. He gave away the ball. Dean Salk went after again, followed up his mistake and corrected his mistake, retrieved the ball. I think that the chance he created was for Alonso, if I'm wrong, and created the chance from correcting his mistake. That's a spirit I want to see at Chelsea, but we still can. And after that, again, What happened? I just don't know why Thomas Tuchel didn't give him more chance in his sub games. Again, there's a way you follow up. You follow the development of a young player like that. After such performance, honestly, I'd argue he should have gotten more game time. And by now, you could say he'd be ready and be part of the first team. But yeah, maybe Thomas Tuchel didn't trust him that much. Excuse me. Okay, he's not a bad. Again, he's not bad. Again, he's very good coach. Again, if you take time, watch our youth players. Yeah, again, they're good, really. Again, and yes, Raskin is a fine player. I don't know if the manager has looked at him. Let's again, Omari again in there. He might even at right wing back or left wing back position, and even again do well there. Again, I think it's to play wingers in the right wing back or left wing back position. No, but you have to pick and choose when you do that. Even during the pre-game show, we knew it was going to be again a risky approach in the Premier League. But unfortunately, I think it's a great idea. But I'm glad, again, it has happened. I hope you learned something from it. Can we admit Alba has been against striker cost? No, I'm not going to jump to that conclusion yet. Gallagher assisted Kai. On again that longer we say. Kim, so again, if you notice after Rhys James got injured, we lack the critique. Yeah, do we miss James? We miss James. But how many games have we played? I don't think. Again, we can still do. Let's be honest. We can still do well in the absence of James. This whole thing is coming out now, but really, it has been long term coming. If you had followed how poorly we played of late, yes, we've come out with wins, draws, and all of that. Again, and the unbeaten run, you can say, masked the existing issue in the team, and a lot of people didn't pay attention to it. They would just focus on the fact that yeah, we've been unbeaten in 7, 6, 10 million games and that. But if you understand football very well, you'd know we had an issue, especially on the lineup. You'd know it's serious trouble. But that's, by the way, Ken. I want to get your thoughts, Dan. And it's been a while. Again, what do you think Thomas Tuchel does? Really, do you think he'd go the majority of the players that started against Brighton just to help boost their confidence after that confidence-raking result? Or do you think he'd come and say, okay, I need a reaction, but really the reaction I want from you would have to be against Arsenal? And do you think he'd start, like, let's say, there's not that possibility for him to start an entirely new 11?
Do you mean Potter, not
make
Tuchel?
Quite a lot of changes.
Do you
Yeah, Graham Potter, yes. I mean Potter, yeah.
Yeah, you said Tuchel, my buddy.
Graham Potter, what do you think he'd do?
Yeah. Basically, I think what he did, because he made a mistake against Brighton on Saturday. He said after the press conference that he said it was his fault for putting out a wrong formation out and didn't do well. I've heard. I hope he said that something that Sakuya might come in for this game. He's going to put like a proper youth team out. Aubameyang won't be on the pitch. I don't think he'll go 3 at the back because he's made a mistake on that on Saturday. He'll definitely go 4 at the back.
Right?
He'll definitely go 4 at the back.
Okay, but what I want to know from you, do you think he'd go with, again, you can say with the thoughts of, again, that were on the pitch when majority of those guys were on the pitch when we lost that against Brighton. So to help with their confidence, do you think it's okay? Again, I want your reaction, but your reaction, I want to get it against Arsenal and not against Zagreb, because the two remain. If tomorrow we beat Zagreb by 4 goals to 0, 5 goals to 0, it's more like, okay, we've seen the reaction, and now again, they can go into the Arsenal game with a mindset. Yeah, we're gonna win this one.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Are you there, Dan?
Right? Yeah, can you hear me? I'm here. You break it up a little bit, Coach. Yeah, you break it up a little bit. Well, basically,
no, you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I breaking up, or can you still hear me?
I can hear you, but you're breaking up a bit. But okay. I can still hear you.
Okay, right. It's my internet.
I can hear you, Dan, but you're still breaking up, really.
Yeah. Am I breaking up? Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Okay, you'll have to reset your internet. Yeah, go. Yeah, reset it and come back in.
Yeah, right there. Right, I'll coming back. I'm coming back.
Yeah, again, TT again would have found a solution to our problems. Remember, when Chilwell and James Wazao wasn't a horrible on the day, and you could argue again, the truth remains, Graham Potter would have found a solution too. But I think you can say, should I say, he was a bit naive with his selection, and again was flattered by the result against Salzburg. The selection was just the issue. I don't think, again, he's a good manager, and I think he'll take us to places. But yeah, that shouldn't have happened in the Premier League. James' position has always been ignored, especially when he plays with wing back. Again, it was the same situation last season. The moment he got injured, yeah, things went downhill, and it didn't look like we learned anything from that. TT again did say he cannot play always there, but never address it. Again, our inability to address the issue wasn't down to Tom, really. He was just a manager. We looked at Denzel Dumfries. We looked at Jonathan Klaus. I think we looked at other right back, again, right wing back players also. So I don't think it was down to Thomas Tuchel, but we're not here to talk about him, really. John Paul again says, again, yes, Hall was not bad, but Titi, again, I don't know what happened really after that game. Brilliant, again, debut, if I must say. The younger academy players still fight for their right to play more than the older ones. Usually, again, you see different spirit when players who are from the academy play. Did you know Tuchel never used our academy players last season? I can't say yes because I'm not sure. Gallic won again. What man of the match? What again? Can you write it out, please? I haven't yet. Okay, again, he will be repaid with a start tomorrow. Okay, I get it. Let's see. Let's see what we have again. So Dan, your thoughts? What do you think he'd do? I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're mute. I can't hear you. So you have to sort out your connection. And for me, okay, here again, I think on the left-hand side, I don't, as much as I think we get the chance to play, I'm not sure if he starts, I'm going to be surprised. Yeah, I can hear you. So go ahead.
Yes, yeah. Basically, I was saying, thank you for joining.
Yeah, I can hear you. If you guys let me know if you can still hear me. It looks like you have a very poor connection. I'm not sure. Maybe you have to reset your internet, because since you can hear me, I'm not sure where the issue is. Yes, again, they do the quality, but lack the experience of playing against top teams. I'm not, again, I will not say, I'm not saying we stop them in every game, but they will become very important for squad rotation. Here's the thing, under the new ownership in Graham Potter, I think more certainly we'll start seeing a lot more of the academy players. And again, plus the fact that, again, there are limits to number of players you can loan out. So that forces us, again, to make the most of what we have. And we won't just be taking academy players for the sake of it. I think, again, you have to be elite for you to make it into the Chelsea Academy. And good scouting works. Those things will go a long way, helping us have a very good academy that's good enough, again, putting up players to always make it into the first team. Now, this is how I think Chelsea can, again, circumvent or maybe navigate the new rule that limits the number of players a club can loan out. Again, by the plans of the club to have satellite clubs, to have, you could say, feeder clubs in like other countries in South America or other, again, continents or other countries, that you can just, again, sell them to that particular club. I'm not sure, again, how that's going to work, but I think it can help circumvent or navigate the rule that stops club, again, that limits the number of players a club can send out on loan. Maybe that will make a whole lot of difference. Here's where we have a problem here. This number 8, Christian Pulisic, I think it still start this game, even though he started the last time. I'm not sure Omari Hutchinson start. Christian Pulisic will start in terms of, again, just to get him up and running fully. I think he gets to start. Omari Hutchinson, as much as I he's good enough to start and even do well if he's given a chance. I do not think he starts. And Sports Wire says again, hey, y'all, it's been a minute, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join. Again, I appreciate you. I know you're busy. Again, he says, I hear you jump out, but would, chuck academy players into, again, our situation right now and expect them to develop? Yeah, you just end up, again, you just end up causing them a lot of problems rather than helping them develop. I am not sure. Maybe I'm too pessimistic. Nick, you're correct. But it may be, again, but I think it hasn't gotten to the fact that we have to go to the academy to get players to solve problems. Again, the manager could have done things differently during the game against Brighton. We still have good and, again, enough numbers and enough players in the team to still play with the third at the back system and still be fine. But he opted for the approach he did. Nope, again, he did use academy players last season because Lewis Hall started his debut for us. And Vel, I have you, Vel. Let me see what else we have here. Bigger picture, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yeah, anything you want to say again? Let's see if you'll fix the situation now. Go ahead, Dan. I'm listening to you.
Can you hear me? Is it much better now, Coach?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better, but go ahead. I'm waiting for you.
Sorry, my internet's been playing up lately.
I can hear you, Dan. Can you know others can hear me, but it doesn't look like you can hear.
I can hear you. I can hear you a little bit. It's just breaking up. I don't get what's going on here.
Yeah, but I can barely hear you. I think what you need to do, you have to reset your internet.
I've done that 3 times. Coach.
You have to reset internet. So again, as I was saying, all right, go ahead. Go ahead, speak. What do you think he would do in terms of the set of players he would start? Do you think he would still go with most of the guys that started against Brighton? Do you think he will make a lot?
He will make a lot of changes, Coach. He will definitely make a lot of changes to the system of Graham Potter.
Okay, go ahead. Can you elaborate? And it looks like you might, whatever I say gets to you late. Go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, thank you for letting me on the show. I know sorry about this poor performance, and big up to everyone in the chat with the Blue Brothers. Potter's system will do definitely a change against Brighton because, as you see, it was a bad performance on Saturday. But this game is really not really important because we've already qualified to the Champions League. I think it'll be putting like the youngs of like the youth team out, like Chukwuemeka will come on, like Mason Mount, Broja. I heard that Sakuya might start this game. Koulibaly's back from the training ground, but he won't play, so he'll be rested for the Arsenal game. I think Graham Potter needs to get this team spirit to win the game tomorrow night, so we can get the force going against Arsenal. As we know, the balance system seems to not adapting well at Chelsea Football Club from it because with all these formation changes, it seems to not be working. And last week, Wednesday, when we played Salzburg in the 3 same formation, the first half it looked it was wonderful play. You could see the difference how the players play tiki-taka football. But in the second half, same formation, and Salzburg went and really destroyed it and got the.
Dan, I'm sorry, but Dan, I can barely hear you. Really.
You can't barely hear me. All right.
Dan, I can barely hear you. You have to fix your connection, or maybe whatever that's causing the problem.
Yeah. I'll go.
Yeah, please. So again, because I want to start losing again the viewers' interest.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'm still here. Just let me know whenever you want back. I'll let you back in. Here we have a jump once again. Mario Minto again, talking to Mario Minto. And Mario says, hey, Coach, if you were Potter, what do you do in this situation? Would you implement your system and philosophy or use the players? You have to find a feasible solution game by game. Here's the thing, again, I like that question right there. When you can say when Thomas Tuchel, let's start with Antonio Conte. When he came in, he had a plan. He had a way that he likes the game to be played. He didn't come in, and then again, he wasn't drastic about the approach. He took his time. Yes, something you could say. So you took that loss. Was it against Arsenal, who that forced him to immediately start playing with his again with his system or with his preferred approach to the game and system to structure and everything? You can say again. Let me answer the question the best way I can. We don't again. Yes, we understand it will take long, and if the process would take long, why in a rush? Why are we making it? Why is it being drastic? If the process takes long, then take it gradual. Again, without saying that says follow the punch and it won't hurt that much. But if you go against the grain in terms of trying to, I don't know how else, again, you get hurt. So the best thing to do would be to follow the punch. Let me rephrase it again. If it's a long process, if it's going to be a painful and long process, if the process by default, as everybody agrees, will be a long process, why be in a rush to implement an approach? Why not take it gradual? Why not start by the interplays? By the, again, like we see that we play more vertical balls, passes on the ground Potter than we did on the Thomas Tuchel. That's a good start. But it was to really, again, start with just a 3 recognized defenders against Salzburg. Again, play the wingers in a wing-back position. Yes, I understand, again, their primary responsibility isn't to defend, but when you do that, you should at least be able to control the game or have players who are capable of, again, protect the defense. We had, again, Jorginho played against Salzburg. He was at least able to control the game, and he was able to read the game. But if you can pay attention to the numbers after that game, you'd see that we were actually lucky to have won the game because they had more XG than us. They had a lot of big chances too. But maybe the manager was flattered due to that result, as many Chelsea fans were, because the whole talks on that, the water ball, because of the interplay weakness, they were actually good to watch. Good interplays, getting one touches, more vertical plays and all that, creating purposeful play on the day. But nobody paid attention that the best players on the are defenders and occupier, which shows the system, because that's not about structure really. The system didn't really work. And maybe the manager was flattered by that result. So he decided, again, to continue with the drastic implementing the way he wants us to play. And of all the teams he decided to do that against, it was Brighton. So that was a huge thing. Brighton, they play octane football, and they've been grilled, you could say drilled by him, Potter himself. Get the most of the slightest of the spaces they find on the pitch. And boy, they did that to a T on that. So it was a huge risk. We shouldn't have started that game that way had they paid attention to what really happened during the game against us. But apparently he didn't. So again, I hope that answered your question. But here again, it says again, I say Pulisic starts on the left wing back, wing position, not left wing back. Although I wanted Omari Hutchinson again a chance, especially how he's been recently on again. It's been and the manager himself saying again, he doesn't care about the age as long as the quality is there. What exactly doesn't do? I keep hearing again this myth about Alex and youth. He had golden talent with Beckham and that lot, but again, where is this youth talent? Again, have a conversation over there. Let's see what else we have here. Not trying to be negative here, lads, but Arsenal will beat us on Sunday. Again, I can't see us winning. We have to, again, no fight in also, which was why I said, again, I wouldn't give too many of those players that started against Brighton a chance to play against Zagreb. I tell them, look, the reaction I want from you, I want that reaction against Arsenal. Yeah, if they play Zagreb and beat them, they'd feel like, okay, we're good now. We can beat Arsenal. But again, one thing I'm going to say, whenever our fan base are afraid again or too scared to play against a particular team, usually it's a good sign for me. Usually we end up winning those games. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, Ronaldo again. Anything else to address? Let's see. Again, our midfield is very weak. Loftus-Cheek is too stiff. Again, not really too stiff. Add him in as one of the 2 6s. I've always said that. But that's by the way. I'm going to move on. Dan, I'm going to get your thoughts. What do you think before we continue building line up here?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Is it much better?
Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds
Yeah,
better.
okay.
Go ahead.
Brilliant. All right. What was the question? Basically, what was I talking about? Oh, okay, Potter's system. When you saw it last week on Saturday
No,
against
it's not really about
Brighton.
Potter system. The question was, what do you think Potter would do? It looks like you're getting
Yes.
what I'm saying late, but go ahead with what you're saying.
Oh, right. So we put what do you think what Potter do against this game for against Zagreb? Now, I think he will change it up to this balance, because you see we haven't got looks like we haven't got a balance in our football in our football system for me with all these players. I will. This is what I've tried to be saying along. Right, Cucurella should play our left centre back. He should be playing as a centre back. No chance. No chance. This whole point of this system with Raheem Sterling and Pulisic playing at right wing backs, that should not work. If he's going to play the 4-2-3-1 system, I think what it is, yeah, this game for tomorrow night, he should get the youth team like Chukwuemeka in, Bojo on. Let's give Sakuya a game with Jorginho. See how Sakuya gets on, see how he does it on the pitch. If he does well against Zagreb for tomorrow night's game and he plays quality, then we should have Sakuya play against Arsenal on Sunday, because this guy Sakuya, I'm telling you, coach, right? Since the training, he's been performing in and out of the football training ground, and he has the talent. He's got the strength.
Do you attend the Chelsea training? I'm sure that you're talking from just that one video that was out there, him shooting and all that.
Yeah, he was shooting. No. My cousin, me and my cousin were speaking last night, and he goes to the training ground and watch all of them train and takes videos and that. And he was saying this Sakuya, you can see him running up like the pitch when he's like jogging and he's jumping on his all the stuff that they've been doing with Sakuya on the in the training ground, and like doing a lot of things, and he looks like he's proper like fit. And he says they do like a little 11 side against 11 versus 11 on the pitch with the thing, and my cousin says he sees him playing a match against him, and way he like physically defends, he's been superb. And this what I'm trying to say, yeah. Sakuya needs to start getting some games in for Chelsea, coach, because he seems to be his strength and his physically. He looks like he's proper fit in the training ground. Looks like he's fit. Raheem Sterling, I think we should give Raheem Sterling a rest, right? Right. I think we should give him a rest for this game, because he hasn't seemed to been doing anything since he's signed for us, right? Potter needs to figure out, a flowing system, a system with a formation that is going to adapt to Chelsea now. Because if we see Sterling on the wing, he'll play more better in the wing than playing as a right wing back. And it's now like all the fan base are moaning about what's going on. But come on, like us Chelsea fans need to know, Potter has done well. He's only lost one game against Brighton, and he admitted that was his fault that he put that formation out and playing the three at the back. He realised now that this system at Chelsea Football Club with the players is not actually working, and he has to find another pollution where this system now a different formation that has to work for the Chelsea like for the football team, because if you see, none of them weren't happy after that game, coach.
I understand. I'll come back to you in a bit. And again, I still think you need to find a solution, because it looks like it takes you like 10 seconds to hear what I say, and we'll be waiting to hear from you. It takes a while before it comes back. I'm not sure what that is. Again, you might yourself. Again, see academy players, bro. Again, they are all talented. Okay, I'm not questioning their talent. I am hesitant to put them in an unstable team and expect them to pick up the slack. That's like putting a load that they're not capable of carrying on them. Instead of that, to help them develop quicker or help them develop well, it will dwarf their development rather. So that's a delicious comment. It wouldn't make sense. Bring them when things are going well. I know, again, sometimes, again, necessity, situations can force you to actually bring them into the fold when you shouldn't, but I don't think it has come to that yet. Potter should play 4-5-1 again, and start Ziyech in that system because it would be again, it will support him better. Maybe again, I'm not sure what he does. We'll find out, but I think he starts tomorrow. Coach, I said it earlier. How we play is so predictable. Game calculated. Nothing wrong with the long ball every now and then. Yep. And again, we should be looking to get midfielders. That's a delicious comment, by the way. Midfielders so capable of creating chances from the central area. We haven't had that at Chelsea again for a while now. Every now and then you see Jorginho was able to put in some delicious ball, one-time ball from the midfield, but we don't. How often do we see that? Not very often. But that's, by the way, again, the last one, again, I want to get this before I come to Roger. There to give that, again, we're playing it a safe opposition, going backwards, sideways, or, yeah, again, all those things. Roger, big up to you. Lateness is greatness, my brother. And again, it's not an obligation, I understand. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you, sir?
Are you there, Roger?
You seem to be going in and out.
I can't. No, okay, I can't complain. I'm going to get your thoughts. What do you think, Potter? I'm fine, very well. What do you think Potter does tomorrow in terms of the selection? Do you think he'd give those, again, majority of the players that started against Brighton the chance sort to help, you could say, polish their confidence, if you prefer? Or do you think he'd say amateur reaction against Arsenal, not in this game, and still give those players that we've expected to start? That is when we, again, this game is no longer a mere formality. It's an important game in terms of us getting a win is important. We can't get 2 losses. What do you think he does? Do you think it's tell them, yeah, I want your reaction against Arsenal, and still start those players we expected to start before the loss to Brighton?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I initially thought that prior to the debacle over the weekend, that he would try to, shall we say, assimilate the younger players in. But I believe because A, how poorly we played, and B, the fact that we do need to seriously build up, shall we say, chemistry on the field. I think he has to take this as a new approach. I think he has to take this game quite seriously. There's a 4-day gap between tomorrow and the Arsenal game. I believe it's on the Sunday. So I think he's going to have to play the starters that he believes will be good enough to start for Arsenal for at least the first 70 minutes. So I don't think we have the luxury to actually go in and bleed the new young players in. I think before the World Cup starts, we need to be in contention. We can easily, for the next 3 games, we could easily not win one. We could end up getting 0 points. You know, we have Newcastle.
Because those are strong teams, really.
Yeah, we have Newcastle, Arsenal. These 2 teams are looking quite formidable. So I think we have to work on stuff. I want to see Broja start for sure. I think it's time. Aubameyang, he doesn't have the legs. Yes, he's clinical, but look, he hasn't been clinical for us. This isn't the Aubameyang of 2-3 years ago for Arsenal, or even last year for Barcelona. He just isn't. Maybe it's our curse. I have no idea. I would start with a very...
Yeah, Roger, you go ahead. Roger, you go ahead.
Yeah, okay. You're going in and out.
I'll go out and come back in. Yeah. I think good suggestion there from the beautiful. It may have been the issue may have been from my end. So sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I thought it was at me, coach, because you were saying
but Dan, you sound really bad. Dan, you sound very you sound very staticky. So
it's my internet, bro.
Yeah, are
Well,
you
yeah,
using a iPhone or cell phone? I mean,
yeah, I'm using the iPhone. I've got an iPhone, Roger,
yeah.
but
So
I've got a
what
£200 headset. I've got a £200 headset. What come with
so,
the iPhone?
sure.
I
So
don't get
what
why
you
it's doing it.
yeah. So you may need to reboot your iPhone, and you may need to reboot your peripheral device that's attached to it. That's what I would recommend. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah,
and also
Roger.
if you're using home ISP, internet service provider, you may have to reboot your router or even change the channel it's on. But yeah, I think
Okay.
seriously, looking at Chelsea, I think
Mm.
we have to get it right because we have regressed. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, okay, forget about the strategy and being naive and so forth. I think we need to reevaluate how we go forward. I was hoping this will be a game of luxury where we can rest players and start to assimilate the younger ones in because of the performance. In general, actually, I think we need to revisit it completely. What do you think, chaps?
Yeah. Yeah,
But I don't,
I think you're right,
Yeah,
Roger.
can you hear
You're
me?
right.
yeah, I can hear you much better. But I
We can
also
hear you much
think
better now.
I have no idea who plays where because I've been sticking up for Pulisic left, right, and centre. But you know what though? He's muscled off the ball constantly, and he hasn't been
Yeah.
that clinical. But I still think he's better than Sterling. Sterling, I don't even want him on the plane going to this game. You know, it's simple as that. I don't want him
Hey,
in the
Roger, with Sterling, right? This is what I've been trying to say all along, right? He ain't a right wing back. If
He's a
you,
left wing back.
he's not even a left wing back. He's not a left wing back or a right wing back. I was going to try and say to Coach, there's a thing on Twitter. I'll send to you, Coach. If you bring it up, there's this thing about Sterling. When he was playing for Liverpool and Man City, there was a strategy that the time when he was at Liverpool, they tried to put him as a left wing back, and it says from the old coach from Liverpool when he was at Liverpool, the coach from Liverpool, he said the left wing backs, the left wing bits, it didn't seem to organise him playing there because he can't defend and he can't adapt to that position.
Sure.
Right, there was a thing on Twitter saying that about Raheem Sterling. Then they gave him a gesture to play as a winger. When he played as
He's
a winger,
forward. He's basically a forward.
He's a forward. He's a forward winger. But when he
Mhm.
plays as a forward winger, since they've changed him to that winger base at the Liverpool and Man City, he adapts that position very well. He cuts in the players and he can score from that position. Where are we playing him as a left wing back or right wing back?
Yeah, but that's only a
right?
couple of
He can't
times.
adapt to it. He
No,
can't
that's
adapt to it.
Sure, that's only on a couple of times. In fact, the first time it was a 3-5-2, where he basically had zero defensive responsibility, and all he had to do was run in behind the channel. You know, listen. I've watched him extensively. I watched, I would say, 3/4 of all United, Liverpool, maybe not so much Arsenal and
He
Tottenham.
can't play as a striker.
Yeah,
he can't play
no,
as a striker
he's.
at all.
I've watched him from Liverpool to City, England, and now unfortunately Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's not technical. He's got speed, and because of Pep, he makes exceptionally intelligent runs to the near and far post. But then again, he's playing in the system that allows him the luxury of amazing service from the likes of Gundogan, De Bruyne.
Can you guys
Yes,
hear
I
me?
can very well.
We can hear you now, Coach. We can hear you now, Coach.
Okay, I think we should take this opportunity and finish the lineup quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I have
what's wrong
no
with
idea.
my connection. It just seems it seems as if again I am actually
No,
the
you
reason it's happening.
You
So
sound good, Coach.
Okay, but I think I can barely hear you. Yours is breaking up, but it looks like it's from my end,
Yeah.
possibly.
I don't
I'm not
think
sure.
Hakim Ziyech will be
But Roger,
starting
do you
tomorrow,
agree with the
Coach.
players who selected?
I don't want
Sorry?
Ziyech there.
Ziyech won't be playing tomorrow. Ziyech won't be playing tomorrow, Coach.
I hope not.
He ain't. No, he ain't.
We
He'll put Conor Gallagher.
So who do you think starts there? Really, you think it's still gonna go with majority of the players that started on the other day?
Yeah, he'll put Havertz or Mount there. Conor Gallagher, right? It'll be. I think what he'll do, yeah, with the system, he'll play the 4-3.
Okay, Roger.
like a
Roger. See
4-3.
what we're gonna do. Let's finish it quickly. Let's finish it quickly on the panel because it's still happening. The issue anybody's still happening, and you can't hear me now, so which means something is wrong really on my end. We should just finish the lineup quickly and end it. So
my 4-2-3-1 would be Broja up front. The number 10 would be Kai. I put either Mount or Gallagher where you've got Ziyech, and I play Pulisic where he's playing. That's the formation. I believe that.
So let me just put I can swap them all up. If you think they're all going to start, but
and then I would put
no matter what happens, I don't really think Raheem start.
Yeah, Chukwuemeka will be starting, and also
So like
I
this.
reckon Chukwuemeka will start. I reckon
Six,
Chukwuemeka will start.
See,
I reckon he'll rest Conor Gallagher. I think he'll rest Conor Gallagher for Arsenal. He'll put Chukwuemeka, Mason Mount, Pulisic, Broja.
Because
Then he'll have
what somebody in the chat is saying,
gentlemen,
this is really horrible for me. I think the issue is coming from my end. So we're going to try to complete this as soon as possible. I have to go now. Enjoy the rest of the show. We'll talk again, hopefully. Keep the blue flag flying high. The connection is seriously horrible. Coach, again, just say over when you're finished speaking as the delay. The delay is horrible, really. So if we're saying he's going to start, what's your logic again? What do you say again? Why do you think he's going to? I'm talking to you, Roger, quickly.
Yeah, I say I would put Pulisic where you have him. I would put the number 10 position behind the striker, which is a centre forward. I would put Kai. Yeah, I'd put Kai there, and I would put Mount on the right. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's like this. Who?
Yeah.
Okay,
instead of Gallagher, I would put Kai Havertz.
Yes, William Roger. Yeah, Kai Havertz.
So you want Havertz where? Let's
Gallagher,
finish
to replace Gallagher
on
with
the
Kai.
panel so we can end it. The connection is really, really poor. Okay, then the 2-6 says Jorginho most likely will start.
Yes.
And Sakuya, because he's going to start Sakuya in the game.
I don't think Zakaria started. If we're really going to do what I don't think so.
I think.
Who do you think starts?
I think Zakaria is out of the equation. If he was good enough to play, he would have played already under 10 games under Potter. So I think he's out the equation. It's obvious he's been on the bench, but that's only in case of emergency. He hasn't even been on the pitch for 1 minute. I don't believe he's in Potter's plans. I think he's probably going to be sent back after the season when the World Cup is. It's simple as that. It looks like I don't want that to happen, but it looks like that's what's going to transpire. So Jorginho, who plays with Jorginho? I have no idea.
Kovacic. Kovacic.
Probably Kova if he's healthy.
Unless if put Rubens off the cheek with Jorginho. But Conor Gallagher, I'll take Conor Gallagher, coach, because he'll be rested for Arsenal's game. I'm telling you.
So, coach, you have still Gallagher on there.
Let's just be straightforward about this. Let's be straightforward about this. Let's say Jorginho. Let's plug in Kovacic. I think he's the most we'll find out. We don't know how again. Down put the feels about. I think. Let's just say. I don't think he starts again. What's his name? I don't think he starts. Zakaria in this game. Really.
No, not at all.
I don't think he starts.
Coach, you still got Gallagher.
And I think whatever happens in this game is what tells us. Yeah, if Zakaria starts this game, then he has a place in the team. If it doesn't, then he should start even before both clubs start talking. So I'm not sure, but if you guys are seeing this game, you could say as a pre-game before the Arsenal game, you could say a game that if you feel like he needs to field them to get the match ready before the Arsenal game, so that any issue he sorts it out before the game against Arsenal, the most likely Zakaria isn't going to start. But I'm not sure you guys think things will happen. Let me ask the chat, but I don't think Zakaria starts. What number is that? Let me say number 6 quickly so we can finish this. My connection is horrible.
I don't think you can hear us, Roger. I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah. Coach, I just sent you a message in the chat.
I don't think he can hear us. Literally, I think.
Yeah, 1 second.
He's got delay. Yeah, it's froze. It's literally froze, Roger.
Okay.
Yeah,
there,
Coach. Maybe we should
Coach?
reboot this. This isn't working.
Okay, so I change this one to Mount.
No, Havertz, please.
Havertz.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah.
Centrally, Havertz, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
want? And who on the right here?
Affirmative.
Yeah. Then Ruben Loftus-Cheek with Jorginho.
Okay, who plays alongside? Who plays alongside again?
Kova.
No, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
I don't think Loftus-Cheek
I think he'll rest him
there. I think most likely Kovacic. I think any change will most likely be Kovacic. You guys say let's go again. The vote.
I think
one vote only in chat says Kovacic. I think he's.
I think he's gonna play between 60 minutes. You know, this should be the startup for 60 minutes. Then make changes, 4 or 5 changes at the hour mark. Simple as that. And then let's see how the others do.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit Chalobah as a centre back with Silva.
I want Silva to sit out. It should be Chalobah with
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly,
because Koulibaly needs to have
he's
a
rested now.
Yeah, Koulibaly and
Koulibaly.
Yep, it has to be.
He's out.
Yeah,
Koulibaly is out.
He's not out. He's not out. Unless he's resting for the Arsenal game then.
No, let me check my messages again. I think he's out. I don't think he's played.
Really?
Is he out or is he in? Let me know.
No, he's in. He's in.
Let me see. Somebody updated me. Ian Lane updated me with who's out. Quickly, let me see if I see that.
Because he flew out. He flew out with the Chelsea today. He flew out with them. Coach.
No, I think I saw something. Just 1 second. I'm not sure. Let me see if I find it in my update. Mateo Kovacic occupied no Mateo Kovacic. Okay, Koulibaly may well play. So let's say Silva gets a rest. So let's correct this. Silva gets a rest here. So let's change this to Koulibaly.
Because I know he flew out. He flew out with the team today, Coach. He flew out with the team today, so he'll definitely be starting.
He trained, right?
He trained, yeah. He trained yesterday, and he flew out with the team today.
Not like he trained separately.
No. He trained normal.
Yeah, my connection.
He did train out. He did train
with this. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I think he gets to start. I got the message that was sent to me wrong. To me, Mendy here. I think Mendy starts there.
And Mendy there. And Mendy's there because Kepa's
I
out.
think that's the lineup. And anything else you guys want to add, Roger? You or him? Anything?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Roger, I don't think Coffee will be playing because he will be resting for Arsenal's game.
He'll play Sunday. 60. Hopefully, he plays 60 minutes. He doesn't have to play the whole 90. They can play 55 to 60 minutes, and it's as good as fresh. The legs will be okay. It's past that. It's past that 70-minute barrier. Is when the injuries and the fatigue sets in. These players are conditioned to play 60 minutes every four days. That's not a problem for them.
I just think Havertz won't start. I think Chukwuemeka will start over Havertz.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, he could blend in a few young ones. I mean, I love Carney. Don't get me wrong. I like him a lot. But you know, would he play in that holding number 6? He's
yeah. I think he would.
Roger, just quickly, the final thing I want to ask you: what do you think about Omari Hutchinson? Do you think he gets a chance tomorrow, even to participate off the bench?
Yeah, I think
had it not been that we played badly and then we were losing, I think would have gotten a chance to play against Brighton.
Yeah, no, I think he'll see hopefully time off the bench tomorrow. Maybe at the 70th minute, he'll get like 20 minutes. I think definitely Carney Chukwuemeka will either start tomorrow or he'll get at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, Roger.
No, he trains separately, so that's not a good sign, really.
So so Carney is still is he got a knock then?
No.
He
hasn't got
trained
no.
separately, so that's not
Yeah,
a good
that's
sign.
not a good sign then.
Yeah, yeah, and again, Kovac isn't available, so this will not be Kovacic, not by any means. So most
Yeah,
likely,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say to you, but none of it.
I don't
Well-
know who's banged up. I haven't
Yeah,
read.
but we can't. Again,
Kovacic
yeah, I
been
think he
banged
most
up.
likely will be. And again, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that update, Jeff Tasiko. I appreciate that.
So Kova's not traveling, and who else is not traveling?
I think Mason. I think Kovacic is not.
Not traveling. We're home.
Or is it a game at home?
Yeah, we're at home. We're at home.
Okay.
We're
I
at
thought
Stamford
Yeah,
Bridge.
we're home. We're home. Yeah.
So who's not in the
No, the first leg was away.
So
this
who's not who's
definitely
banged
home.
up? Who's injured right now?
Kovacic only Kovi's only injured, and Kepa's out for 4
If
weeks.
Kova is out, probably I think Kova being out is just because the game is a mere formality. It's not that too important. To me, it's not like he's that injured. Who else? The usual guys, all out right now. Kepa is out too. Yeah, I remember that. Kepa is out.
Okay. Yeah, I
Because
just
we're
I
at
don't
home.
want.
We're at
Yeah.
Stamford Bridge. We're at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
aren't we?
so
yeah.
I don't want to see Sterling play. I do not want to see Aubameyang play. Simple as that. I don't want those two even coming on the pitch.
They'll rest for Sunday's game, Roger.
Yeah, but
I don't want them at all. They
Why?
need to, because I don't
what I
rate
saw on
them
my
highly.
update screen, I'm not sure if whoever says that.
Hello.
Oh, now I'm seeing something here, and I want us to talk about it. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Something from just quickly, but go ahead if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've really gone off.
Let me just look at it quickly again. We're about to round off really. And Mizaki says if Zakaria plays tomorrow, then he cannot join another club in January. It locks him into being either a Chelsea player or a Juventus player for the rest of the season.
So there you
Yeah,
go.
I've
then.
heard that.
So
heard that.
I think Zakaria himself may well, so Zakaria should be out of the options actually. In the question there in the chat, we're everywhere today again because this connection is really annoying me. But here's the thing. Let me show the screen here. Here's what I'm talking about here, which says if Zakaria tomorrow, then he cannot join another club in January. It locks him to either being either a Juventus player, which means Zakaria himself will be done. Even if the chance calls tomorrow, if it's decided this manager don't trust me, he'd say, please leave me out. I don't think he'd play this, even though he gets to play. But if it means what we're seeing here, he'd be fit to play, really. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah, that rules him out.
That don't make sense, though. If you give him one game, but he can't go to another club in January.
Yeah, so Potter don't want to risk him too. So you could argue Potter probably. We don't know if Zakaria himself has asked if you're sure you're not going to keep me, please don't play me. That's the chance that has happened. And yeah, I'm surprised. He said, wow, the puzzle is finally solved. So it makes sense now. And I think I'm going to use this to make a shot, actually. The reason Zakaria may have been because of this reason. Because, Roger, wouldn't it make sense for him to tell the manager, if you're sure Chelsea ain't going to keep me, please don't play me. It will leave me in a very precarious situation.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him either.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Because you can't just play him out of selfishness because you want him to help you. You can then end up leaving him in limbo. He goes back to a club that don't want him in the first place. Selling him becomes a problem.
Yeah, no.
What do you think, Roger, before we call it a day?
So here's what I think about that. I think it makes sense, but that usually happens if you play a certain amount of games, like 5 or 10 games, not one game. That doesn't sound... That sounds nonsensical to me. So I understand there's usually limits on how many minutes a person plays, but for it to be just one game, That doesn't make sense. But I understand the logic
that's what I'm
behind
saying,
it.
Roger.
No,
Doesn't
it
make sense.
you look. Don't they have every right to add whatever clause they want in contract?
Sure,
Or maybe
but that's not.
I think this is out of being a clause. Actually, I think this has to do with the UEFA rule, possibly. But go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but that's all I'm trying to say is that's normally not the case. It's usually X amount of minutes, meaning it's never usually one. I haven't heard of one before. It's usually like if they play either 100 minutes or 200 minutes or 4 or 5 games, nothing like that. Just for it to be a one-off, that sounds, well, I've never heard of that scenario before. Let's put it that way.
Yes, yeah, I've never heard of that, coach. I've never heard of it. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. Whoever's
But I
put this
don't think
up on
Nizar
Twitter
Kinsella
doesn't
will
make
talk
sense.
about it if that isn't the case. I think it probably was made. It is indeed, it is strict, but probably I think it makes sense in the sense it gets clubs not to just use a player for selfish reasons. That would get again. Everything comes to mind, but I think it is really confusing. But that's but that's by the way. I think I really want to stop this because it's been a stream given the connection, not because of the discussion, really. So we have
was he a panic buy? Was he a panic buy?
Zakaria gets to start this, given that is what we saw there on the screen. Zakaria, I don't think he starts. No.
Coach.
Really, I don't think. I think again, there's no telling what Graham Potter would do.
I don't know if you can hear me.
What?
Was Zakaria a panic buy? Was Zakaria a panic buy in the transfer deadline day? Was he a panic buy? Because we were getting him on loan.
It was never a buy. He's on loan.
Yeah, but when he had a panic buy, because
it's an option and obligation. So that's probably why we're being cautious there. So, but that's why. Well, let me get what we have in the chat, and we can call it a day again. The conversation was good, but the connection ruined it. It takes like a few seconds for me to hear what anybody is saying. I'm not sure. Maybe because I started alone for a long time, I haven't seen that no pattern to it for me to say that was really the case. And Sajihla, again, a real one. Nice to see you again, and welcome back. If you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Unfortunately, again, some issues today. Hopefully, I'll sort that out before tomorrow's stream. Here we have again Chelsea fan. Again, big up everyone. Keep up again with the good work, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, I appreciate you kindly saying that. That means a lot. Okay, again, are you? He's asking the person that told him not bodies, but then asking the person, okay, like, what about you? Are you a human? I hate it even when teams get players on loan and not play them. That's because they're not obliged to do so. And if you were, the president of a team or the manager of a club, your priority would be your own players. You wouldn't want to waste resources and again, all players that will end up leaving. But sometimes situations will force managers to use loan players, really. But in this case, I don't think it's come. You could argue, even if it comes to that, given what we've just seen on the screen, that may well make it even more difficult to see him tomorrow. If we see him, which means, the club are considering keeping him. I pray that Potter don't start Mount. Well, keep praying. We'll see what happens. Not you. Oh, okay, this night. I'm sorry, not you. Okay, at least I get to laugh, but I've been pissed really about how ugly the whole stream has been due to poor connection. But that's, by the way, now your final thoughts. Now get Roger's final thoughts, and we get the day. And I hope to release Roger's video today. Again, I will try to round up whatever I have to do. But like I said, the first one are usually difficult. So Dan, your final thoughts. I'll get his final thoughts, and we'll call it a day.
Okay, thanks for letting me join the show. I know it's been a bit bad for your connection, coach, but hopefully we can see a good improvement with this team for tomorrow's game, and then coming for the Sunday game against Arsenal, because it seems to be reducing a lack of confidence with us for a minute, and I know I know everyone's saying he's a balanced manager. He's just a balanced manager, but Potter needs to actually figure out where a solution of a team where he can find the formation that works for the system, because it's just getting too worrying now. We're like sixth place in the Premier League, and the team seems not like adapting very well. Roger, just say this quickly to you, buddy. If you got Twitter, could you add me on Twitter? I've sent a private message on in Coachella stream. But yeah,
Sure.
Aubameyang. I know you said about.
I'm sorry that I have to be. Let me say this. I know it's not your fault, Dan. I know it's my fault, but it's quite irritating, even to me. So for the audience themselves. Let's just get Roger's thoughts. Roger and Dan, apologies for thinking it was your fault. Roger, your final thoughts. Hopefully we can hear you. Maybe your sounds differently, so we can call it a day. It's irritating to me, let alone how does the fan feel. So go ahead, so we can just end it quickly.
Yeah,
really.
no problem. I honestly hope that we build up chemistry and we start. We're going to have to get time on the ground, practice ground in Cobham and in a real-time simulation like tomorrow's game. Look at this as a friendly, so to speak, but play it like it's a cup final, because going forward we're gonna have to be more clinical, and it's not just that. We have to provide better service. It's simple as that. There has to be a level of cohesion. We don't look like a top 10 team. We played 10 games under Potter, and we've been very lucky.
And again, Roger, it's
really, let's call it a day, guys.
Awful. I have to miss, and it's my fault. It's not your fault. It's not down force. I'm gonna have to call the company again, but still, we were able to finish the lineup. So that's a good thing. I'm so sorry. If you can you hear again? If you're hearing yourself, you'd know it's irritating quite. And again, I feel for the audience. Apologies. It's my fault, not Roger's fault, not Dan's fault. And Dan, sorry for thinking it was your fault. And here's the handle to Rogers, again, Twitter handle. Make sure to follow him. And Dan, maybe next year I'll be there with Roger, the fight to your domain. Apologies, guys, again, once again, for the bad connection. Again, I'll get it fixed as soon as possible. I think we will win this match. The latest match was so hated because we lost a Potter. I wouldn't say, again, I think he made a mistake, which is common. Tuchel himself, as much as I love him, I can count a few mistakes he's made in the past. Potter will also learn from that one. So again, up to Chelsea indeed. Thank you so much, Yala. Thank you, Liam Lane, to everybody. Again, that's fun time to join the show. Apologies again on how bad things are. I hope to see you guys soon. And Roger, if you have time, again, I can share the screen and show you again the video still from the. I'll let you know if I can show you. Just a sneak peek of what I've done so far to get your opinion before it's ready. I'll send you an inbox message to let you know if that can happen.
Okay.
Anything else? Again, thank you so much, guys. I cannot thank you enough. Guys, again, take care, guys. Again, be safe and God bless. God bless you too, brother. Take care and be safe. Up to Charles. See you guys next time again, and bye.
Bye.
you.